On Saltiness Isn't Bliss tonight, if you have pizza dough and you want a new way to use it rather than make a traditional pizza, stick around because I'm going to make some mini pizza puffs. So we want to preheat our oven to 400 degrees. This is the dough that I will be working with. I did feature this recently in a video. The nice thing about this dough is it comes with its own parchment paper. So the paper that it comes on can actually go directly in the oven. When I roll it out, I like to unroll it really slow because it is cold and it also likes to stick to itself. But yeah, this is the same dough that I featured in the pretzel ball video. So if you get a chance, check that out for another unique way to use it. All right, so there is my dough. And what I'm gonna do is, I looked around the kitchen to find something that was just the right diameter and circumference I wanted because I'm going to be cutting these circles out of the dough. Now, if you don't have anything that's the right size, because I didn't want to go too large, didn't want to go too small, you can always just cut a circle with a knife. You can make it work for you, and you can go as large or small as you choose. So I'm going to go right up to the edge of my dough, push that down. So the idea here is we want to cut 2 out. We're going to pinch our edges together, leave an opening, and that's how we're going to put our filling into our mini pizza puff. So there's my 2 circles I've cut out of my dough. They almost kind of look like cookies, uncooked cookies, or mini pancakes. All right, guys, a few things have happened since we took a little break there. The dough was not cooperative at all. So as you can see, I only have enough here for 4 individual pizza puffs, but that's okay because you'll still see how to make them. You can adjust the quantity of the dough and whether how you cut out your dough. And this one's a little bit thicker. In addition to that, figured out the hard way that if I pinch these together ahead of time, they just want to stick together all the way through, and so it's going to be much more difficult to get our filling in there. So if you lay them individual once you've cut them out, that's the way to go. So we will try to just fill them when they're flat and then put our top layer on and pinch it shut. So in a bowl on the side, you're going to mix together any ingredients you want inside your pizza puff. So whatever you love on your pizzas or whatever new and unique flavors you want to add in there, go for it. So this is the sauce I'm using. Any sauce will do. You will decide how much you need based on how many you have cut out and how much sauce or how little sauce you want in them. And then I'm going to add some shredded mozzarella in there. Again, that will be your, depending on how many you have and how cheesy you want them, will depend upon how much cheese you put in the bowl. Give that a good stir. And the good thing too is if I don't have enough here, I can always make more. I can always add more in there. So I'm gonna start small and then we will go from there. So what I'm gonna do is just put a nice amount right in the center there, just to make sure I'll be able to pinch my edges. That one I put a little more in. So it looks like I kind of had just the right amount here. All right, next step. You're gonna take your top layer, put it right on top, and then with your fingers or with a fork, whatever's easiest for you, you can just kind of gently pinch all your edges together, seal that puff up. So now I'll show you, if we go the fork route, how that will look. So you're just gonna kind of overlap. It's kind of like when you're working with pastry dough or you're making little pies. And yeah, some of it's coming out on the edges, but it is what it is. But that does seem to kind of seal it a little bit better. So do what you're most comfortable with, do what works for you, but I kind of like the fork method better than when I was using my fingers. And you're just gonna repeat those steps until all your puffs are sealed up. And then we'll move on to our very last step before they go in the oven. All right, so in a small dish, we want to put a little bit of olive oil. And the idea here is we're going to brush the tops with some olive oil. The quantity you use, again, will be up to you and will depend upon how many of these you have. And then we are going to sprinkle some dried Italian seasoning. That will be to taste. And that oil will help that to stick right on the top of those puffs there. Now I've got a way too large because I was really hoping my dough would have produced more of these puffs. This was intended for dinner. Now it's going to be a little appetizer or snack, but hey, you know, things don't always go as planned in the kitchen. That's life. So on our parchment paper, you can leave it how it is, or you can just put a little light coat of cooking spray on there. You can transfer these onto our parchment paper. Transfer them onto your paper. You're gonna put them in your preheated oven for about 15 minutes. I'll see you then. All right, here they are. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.